He was my boss, and I was the woman who fell in love with him. I knew it was wrong, but my heart didn't stop. This is my story. My name is Clara. I'm 29 years old. I live alone in a small apartment in Seattle. I work as a graphic designer in a tall glass building downtown. Most days, I sit by the window, watch the traffic move, and sip black coffee. My life is quiet. Too quiet. Then, one Monday morning, everything changed. A new boss arrived. His name was Ethan. He was 40, confident, calm, and gentle. He had kind eyes and a voice that sounded warm, almost musical. When he walked into a room, everyone smiled. He made people feel safe. He made me feel alive. At first, he was just my boss. He greeted me politely. "Good morning, Clara." "Good morning," I replied and went back to work. But soon, small moments started to matter. He remembered my favorite coffee order. He noticed when I changed my hairstyle. He asked, "Are you okay today?" I said yes, but my heart was beating fast. He laughed easily. He spoke softly. He was always kind. I started to wait for his footsteps in the hallway. Every message from him made me smile. Every meeting felt like a secret world between us. One afternoon, he stood close behind me while helping with a design. Our hands touched by accident. It lasted only a second, but it felt like electricity. He smiled gently. I couldn't breathe. That night, I told myself, "You're being silly." But the next morning, I saw it, a silver ring on his finger. My heart froze. He was married. I sat at my desk pretending to work, but my mind screamed. I tried to focus on the screen, but all I could see was that ring. I told myself, "Stop this. Forget him." But I couldn't. The heart doesn't always listen to reason. Days passed, and my feelings grew stronger. Every smile from him felt like sunlight on cold glass. Every goodbye felt like loss. I was falling deeper into something I couldn't have. One Friday evening, most people had already left. Only Ethan and I stayed late, finishing a project. The office lights were dim. Rain tapped softly on the windows. He leaned on my desk and said, "You've been quiet lately. Are you okay?" I wanted to tell him everything, that I thought about him all the time, that I wished he weren't married. But I just said, "I'm fine." He nodded, and the silence between us felt heavy, almost sacred. That weekend, I went for a walk to clear my mind. It was cold and windy. I stopped near a small cafe. Through the window, I saw him. Ethan. He wasn't alone. A woman sat across from him, smiling. A little boy ran toward their table. Ethan picked him up, kissed his head, and laughed. They looked perfect, like a picture from a magazine. My chest tightened. Tears burned my eyes, but I didn't move. I just watched from the sidewalk, the woman outside the glass. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, whispering, "Forget him, Clara. Please forget him." But my heart answered, "I can't." Monday came again. At work, I avoided him. I kept my eyes on my screen. He noticed. "Clara?" he said softly. "You seem sad. Did I do something?" I forced a smile. "No. I'm just tired." He looked at me for a long moment, as if trying to read my thoughts. Then he smiled, that same gentle smile, and walked away. A few days later, everyone left early for a company event. Only Ethan and I remained in the office. The building was quiet, the city lights glowing through the windows. He stood by my desk and said, "You've been distant." I hesitated. Then I said, "I saw you at the cafe." He froze. After a long silence, he said quietly, "That's my wife. We've had difficult years, but we're trying." He took a deep breath. "You make me remember who I used to be, before life got heavy." His voice trembled. "But I can't lose my family again." I felt my heart breaking and healing at the same time. I said softly, "Ethan, I don't want to be your escape. He looked down, his eyes full of pain. You deserve someone who's free, he said. We didn't speak after that. The silence between us was real, like a wall made of glass. I could see him, but I could never reach him. That night, I walked home alone under the streetlights. Rain fell again, washing the city clean. My tears felt the same, soft, quiet, almost invisible. I thought about love, how it can be beautiful and wrong at the same time. I realized something important. Love doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes, love means letting go. Sometimes, love means walking away. Weeks passed. Work continued. We said polite hellos and goodbyes. The air between us was calm now, empty but peaceful. One evening, I stayed late again, just like before. As I packed my bag, I saw Ethan's reflection in the window. He was standing across the office, looking out at the same city lights. For a moment, our eyes met through the glass. No words. No smiles. Just understanding. That was the last time I saw him. Months later, I'm different. I still think of him sometimes. The man behind the glass wall. Close enough to touch. Too far to hold. But I've learned something precious. You can love someone deeply and still choose yourself. You can lose something and still find peace. Now I laugh more. I paint again. I make plans. I'm not waiting for anyone anymore. Because I've finally realized the greatest love story is the one you build with yourself.